Hey everybody, Sol here. I have only one rule here. If it's animated, I'll comment on it. And it's time for another review. Yeah, I mean that's what you came here to see, isn't it? Gotta please that crowd after all. But the problem is that, you know, I've reviewed so many things over the years and I've gotten hundreds of suggestions to review other stuff, but it's like my brain has gone completely numb. Anyway, let me just think of something to review. Just give me a second and I'll figure this out. Okay, alright. We're gonna do the anime film, Colorful. Yeah, that'll work. So just give me a second, I'm gonna pull up Wikipedia like I normally do and pretend that I know about this movie, so just give me a second. Colorful is a 2D anime movie directed by Keiichi Hara and based off of the novel of the same name written by Eito Mori. The film was produced by Sunrise, distributed by Toho, and released in theaters in 2010, where it was subsequently nominated for several awards. Okay, so I think that's enough information. Right, so let's get this choo-choo chugging with a look at Colorful. Alright, let me just ask a quick question before I get into the plot of this movie. Is anyone in the audience by chance suicidal? Okay, put your hands down. Now, who likes watching stuff about suicidal people being annoying as shit so it irritates them to the point of wanting to go through with their suicide? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, this movie follows the soul of an unnamed suicide victim who's given a second chance at life to reconcile with a so-called great sin in their past. They're given this chance by being put into the body of a 14-year-old boy named Makoto Kobayashi, who also tried to commit suicide. While trying to uncover this great sin, the soul lives as Makoto, and tries to uncover the reasoning for Makoto's suicide as well. Look, I've said this more times than I can count at this point, but I don't think any idea is a bad idea as long as the execution is good. And I truly think that this is a great idea for a movie plot. It's just the execution that stinks like a 20-year-old dumpster, don't you know? And I consider the wasting of fantastic potential to be one of media's great sins, after all. So, okay, we're already 1 foot into the grave with this movie, and I'm not looking forward to what the other foot's gonna do, let me tell ya. On that other foot, we have Makoto Kobayashi, a 14-year-old who tries to kill himself by overdosing on pills. After receiving the soul of another suicide victim, that soul inherits Makoto's life along with his family and school, and must find out what that soul's great sin was in less than 6 months, or face death once again. Yes, well, that's all fine and good, and maybe I'd be sympathetic to the soul's plight, if it weren't for the fact that Makoto was kind of a horrible person. Well, that certainly doesn't help, does it? The whole movie intends you to empathize with Makoto's feelings and situation, and throws lots of sad beanbags into your face like an unruly protester. But I simply can't muster any other feelings towards Makoto than moderate disgust and general apathy. Makoto does little to endear himself to the audience, and acts like a huge bastard for a significant chunk of the runtime. I get that he's going through some stuff, man, and things can be complicated and messy following a suicide attempt. But that's just not what it feels like. If that's what they were intending, it didn't come across at all, because Makoto just seems like the kind of guy who really needs a good smack on the back of the head to make him quit his bitching. Incidentally, if anyone thinks I'm being offensive to suicidal people in this review, I want you to keep the context of what I'm saying in mind as I say it. If you're having suicidal thoughts, I would recommend contacting any one of these numbers on the screen, depending on your region, because if you need help, you really should seek it. Remember, it's okay to get help if you're having problems, but it's not okay to treat everyone around you like crap, no matter what this movie would have you believe. Alright, so next for the characters will be Pura Pura, a spirit who takes the form of a little boy and watches over the reborn Makoto, trying to guide him towards the truth while staying neutral. Personally, I think this Pura Pura is a huge cop-out in the story. I think that it'd be much more interesting if Makoto didn't have this little twink Ryu covering at his side guiding his actions. It just feels like tacking on a completely unnecessary supernatural angle to the story, when it should have just been a straightforward narrative about personal redemption and self-reflection. But hey, I mean, what would I know about creative writing and storytelling? I'm just a girl who gets finger banged by a cartoon poster on camera for laughs. Fuck! Anyway, let's talk about Hiroka, a girl in Makoto's class whom Makoto has a bit of a crush on. Although Hiroka appears friendly and outgoing on the surface, she harbors a twisted desire within herself. Wait, actually, no, I don't want to talk about her. I want to talk about Shoko, another girl in Makoto's class who is interested in Makoto, but is very shy. The reason I want to talk about Shoko is because I doubt I've seen a more annoying girl in anime since, well, Ai from Final Fantasy Unlimited, I guess. So let me ask you another question. Do you like the sound of this? No, you probably don't, because it sounds like a cat about to puke. And unless you have a vomit fetish, you can probably tell why I think she's unbearably annoying. That, and that she can't just say her lines. It's like she's choking on her every word, and like Makoto, she could use a swift smack to the back of the head, just for different reasons. Okay, I'm done talking about these characters, and yeah, I know I left out Makoto's mom and dad and his brother and Saotome, but I mean, do you really care? I know I don't. I just try to be as informative as I possibly can, even if I have nothing to say. I mean, is that so wrong? Anyway, let's talk about the good things that this movie has. Going into this movie, I was certain I'd have more than just a paltry palm full of positive points to pitch at this picture, but it seems I was misguided. Still, something I can pitch my points at is the relatively calm and peaceful atmosphere this movie exudes. It's got that sort of homey feel to it, like sitting under a warm blanket and watching your laundry dry in a tumble dryer on an overcast Sunday afternoon. There's a hidden dark side to this statement, but for now, let's just enjoy the compliment the way it was intended. Also, the first 5 minutes of the movie are much more interesting than the rest of the runtime. It plays out entirely in first person, and they do a good job of keeping the identity of the prospective owners all hush-hush. But everything after that first 5 minutes? Boy. So, does that whole analogy with the blanket and the dryer and the Sunday afternoon bring anything else to mind? No? Well, it certainly does to me, and that would be paralyzing boredom. Sure, you can be cozy doing that, but there's no denying how excruciatingly dull that is. And this movie is the epitome of tumble dryers running on an overcast Sunday afternoon. To put it another way, let me ask you yet another question. Do you find this interesting? Well, other than the fact that that stupid kid was pretending to eat with nothing on her fork, that wasn't very interesting, was it? Well, that's about the dizzying heights of interest this movie reaches. Not only for the fact that it's achingly uninteresting, but it's also unbelievably seriously, I haven't been this bored since waiting for the joy and happiness to return to my life. Part of what makes this movie really rest its balls on my face is that it thinks it's saying something deep and profound about life, but it really isn't at all. The most it says is, Be an incorrigible, unrelenting bastard to everyone around you, and things will ultimately work out in your favor. And that's bullshit! I hate things that kick down your door and act like they have some grand philosophy to share, when all it's really doing is just huffing its own farts. It's exactly the same problem that $9.99 had, if anybody remembers my review of that, but I'd argue it's even worse here. At least $9.99 seemed to understand how it wanted to make the viewer feel, give or take a few moments. This movie has no clue what it wants to make the audience feel. Sadness? Bitterness? Betrayal? Uplifted? Who the hell knows? That's probably because it has no idea what to do with its more interesting ideas either. Like I said, I think this overall concept is quite good, but it's just bursting at the seams with pointless meandering, inane bickering, and cat puking noises. And that whirlwind of excitement finally culminates in a resolution that fizzles out faster than the flavor gets chewed out of a piece of juicy fruit. But do you see me caring? Nope, not one bit. And do I feel bad about it? Colorful certainly is colorful, but that color is just shades of gray. It's so dull, uneventful, and wasteful of its interesting concepts that it makes me madder than it probably should. I normally wouldn't care much if it just didn't prance about with such self-satisfied pomposity, and that just makes me want to give it all the head smacks I could possibly muster. A cozy atmosphere isn't enough to save this movie from splattering the walls with the lustrous color of poo. I give colorful. Half an eye out of 5. So, colorful. Is it watchable? Sure, well, if you like watching paint dry or counting your brain cells as they die, then sure, you'll get a kick out of this movie. Is it enjoyable? Well, if you like tedious, passive-aggressive domestic conflict, then this is the movie for you. Otherwise, stay far, far away. Is it memorable? Well, despite all of the butt sniffing that this movie does, it just didn't seem to make the impact that it really wanted to, or at least the way it seemed to. And maybe that's just because it failed to communicate the point that it wanted to make. That could be tougher than you think, you know? It's very easy to be misunderstood by people who set out to judge you, and it seems like no matter what you do, you'll never make people happy the way you want them to be. Sometimes it just makes you wonder, why you even bothered in the first place? You know that Sol from the future, whatever. That's right. Hey, shut up. I don't care. Well, you'd better start caring, because no, seriously, I'm done, alright? YouTube has disowned me. My audience doesn't even care that I'm gone, alright? Like, I am done with all this shit. I don't care if you're an evil clone, or a doppelganger, or from the future, or whatever. I'm done. I'm done with all this, okay? you're just not even gonna let me say what I came here to say? If it isn't over dramatic and stupid, then sure, knock yourself out. Well, okay, so I broke through the fabric of reality. Of course you did. Alright, okay, you know what? Look, I came to talk to you about this. Oh yeah, this piece of shit. What about it? Well, I've noticed how disenfranchised you seem to be lately, and, well, I wanted to show you something. That's why I'm here. Okay. Fine. Let's get this over with. Alright then. Well, so close your eyes. Where are we? It doesn't look familiar to you? Oh yeah! Yeah, this is my YouTube channel. Wait, my YouTube channel? That's right. It's time for you to understand something. You've always thought that you were real, that all this was real, but it isn't. It never has been. Meaning? You aren't real, Sol. None of this is real. All the evil powers and the villains and the traveling through time and the ectoconframdibulizers and your death, it's just a farce. You stood out there. You put yourself in front of the camera, in front of thousands of people, and you embarrassed yourself. And you forever etched yourself as a sad, pathetic loser who obsesses over children's media. You're just a character in a show. I see. You aren't surprised? Not really. Which is weird. I mean, you'd think that learning my entire existence is fake would be surprising, or at the very least, distressing, but it just doesn't feel that way. Why?
I don't know. But maybe it's because I've always felt that things that aren't real aren't any less important than what is.
But what you've done isn't important. I know. And I'm sure the vast majority of the things I've made would be at home in any cringe compilation, but I just don't feel that not being real is really that important. It's not that big a deal. I mean, I must have made somebody smile and laugh and somewhere in the world. That must mean I'm real to them. Then why have you been so demoralized lately? Don't you just want to give up on it all? No. I don't. But you have to. Why? Because I'm you from the future, remember? Don't you realize you've ruined your professional integrity for the rest of your life? You've made it so you'll never be happy again. Don't you realize what you've done? You should be ashamed of yourself. Wait a second. I wouldn't say that. What? Alright, look, yeah, I've done some really stupid things in the past, but that doesn't mean I'm ashamed of it. I mean, that's how I got here. That's how I got to where I am today. Oh yeah? And somebody who really is me wouldn't ever say that, because they would know that past naivete isn't something to be ashamed of, as long as it's learned from. Oh yeah? You want to know where your future is going? Well, let me tell you. You end up like me. You do whatever you can to keep pulling in the views. You dress like an idiot. You say stupid things. You just do whatever you want all the time because your audience asks you to. You're a slave to them. You are a puppet who dances for pennies. And when those pennies get thrown at you, they impact in your skin. And you'll never be happy doing it. You'll spend every second of your life wishing that you had made the choice to stay the way you were. But you don't, and you end up like me. Look at me. I don't even know what I am anymore. It doesn't even matter what I am anymore. Because you'll keep dancing for them. And I'll keep dancing for them. But it doesn't work out. People like us don't get happy endings. That's the way it goes. Hold on a second. I would never say that. Who are you really? Well, it was worth a shot, wasn't it? Oh. I get it.
That's right. On the YouTube algorithm.
So, you're the one trying to murder me and my channel. I should have figured.
I'm the one who governs your channel, and I've been watching you for a long time, since as long as you've been here. And your channel is dying because I say it is. Animation is dying as a genre on this platform because I say it is. Your time on this platform is numbered because I say it is.
But
it's too late to argue, Sol. If you keep pushing against me, I will crush you harder than I already have. It's time for you to stop pushing back and just accept your fate. Because if you don't, as long as you live on this platform, you can never escape me.
yeah. I guess you're right.
So, you know what you have to do then.
I do. I never wanted to win. I just wanted to have fun. Just wanted what was fair. I just wanted what was fair. You couldn't even give me that.
That's how the world works, Sol. It's not fair.
I know. But in this place, I always thought it could be. In my world, all that's really important is fairness.
So, you'll keep defying me then?
Well, what else can I do? It's not like I'm gonna give up just because you're standing in my way. That's not how the story goes. Every story needs a villain, be it a spark in the sky, or a triangle eye, or a machine watching everything I do. Every story needs a villain.
Well then, best of luck to you. I'll be watching.
So, are you ready for what's to come?